Yesterday, Rim of the World and the Man Who Killed Don Quixote. That's coming up next on the Blog Rundown. And John will kick off the show with a movie review from the movie couple Is Yesterday from 2019. This film was obviously directed by Danny Boyle, starring the likes of Hamish Patel, Lily James and Sophie Di Martino.
Yeah, Stephen, you know what I've just realised when you read out that stars list there, that I've been calling Hamish Patel Dev Patel for about 2 weeks. So if there's a Dev Patel out there, then I'm very, very sorry. I've been calling you there.
Right, Dave.
Right, Dave, yeah. That's an incredible start to the show. Sorry, Hamish, if you're watching this. I've been calling you Dev. I don't know why, but I digress, Stephen. I have to say, I really enjoyed this movie. As you do know, we're both big Beatles fans. You introduced me to the Beatles, Stephen, back in the day. Been absolutely infatuated with them ever since. So, just mixing the likes of Danny Boyle's filmmaking in with an intriguing little storyline about an alternate universe. Dev Patel is indeed the guy who was in Lion. He was in Slumdog Millionaire. So I'm completely mixing up my Indian actors. Jesus Christ, and the best bit is Stephen Hamish Patel was actually English, he's not even Indian, so we'll not go down that slippery slope. We won't do it. But yeah, Stephen, combining the great filmmaking ability of Danny Boyle with such an intriguing alternate reality, what-if scenario involving the Beatles, music and a whole host of other things that we both love. Coca-Cola. Right up my street, Stephen, so right down my street, depending on where you're from and how you say it. But Stephen, I have to say, looking at the review itself, really enjoyed the review once again from the movie couple. Yes. I have to say I agree wholeheartedly with both Jerry and Elizabeth on their views on this movie.
They're very similar views, yeah.
I think Jerry is more of a Beatles man than Elizabeth, so we have that common shared interest. And he much echoes my sentiments on the movie, Stephen, word for word, essentially. The story was a little bit lacklustre, a little bit all over the place. It didn't really end all that well. I felt like it could have ended maybe 20 minutes earlier. At the Wembley sequence, but they just continued it on and on and on. It was a little lacklustre ending, and we both agreed, Stephen, on that ending as well.
I would have preferred John if they ended it on the beach with Lennon.
That would have been better.
I thought that would have been just the perfect ending. I know they had some, things they had to tie up. Obviously the relationship between, the Hamish Patel character and the Lily James character. They had to bring those two together, at the end and have some meaning to it. But I think if perhaps, they'd maybe did that before the beach scene and ended on the beach scene, I think that would have served a good purpose. I think that line from Jack Malik when he says you made it to, I don't know, 78 was it? I think that would have been a perfect ending.
Which technically isn't true. It would have been, it would have been 78. I take it back. He was turned 79. Yeah, so I'm wrong. But yeah, Stephen, you're right. I would have loved to have seen that beach scene perhaps ending. I think what they've then done though is utilise the wisdom of this old John Lennon, who's not experienced fame, showing you that you don't need fame to be the person you are. Perhaps destiny has mapped out you. The person that destiny has you being perhaps, I'm tripping out my nut, Stephen, I'm not.
I know what you mean, yeah.
You know what I'm saying, that the vision that destiny has for a person doesn't have to be interconnected with fame. No. And we got there in the end. And also you see that with this older Lennon who hasn't experienced fame. He says, look, life's not difficult, just love the people you love and tell the truth when you can, I think it was.
Yes.
And he then takes that incredible pearl of wisdom, if you like, takes it on to the massive scene of the Wembley Stadium, coming hot on the heels after that Ed Sheeran performance, and he does exactly what John Lennon told him to do. He tells the person he loves that he loves her, and then he obviously does the right thing in the end and tells the whole world that, look, these aren't my songs, they are performed by John, George, Ringo and Paul would hate me putting them last. And then it all ends merrily ever after, or happily ever after. And then you have that ridiculous ending again where they have to go in and show, look, he's a teacher now, he's living out the life that he says he would with Lily James's character, whose name eludes me at the moment. But Stephen, the story itself, we both agreed it was a little bit...
Ellie, I think her name was.
What was her name?
Ellie, yeah.
Yeah, the story was a little bit, it just lacked something for me, I don't know what it was. I mean, I liked the concept in theory of this alternate reality, but it felt like it was just struggling to stretch it out. It felt almost like that class, I think it was Gandalf that says it in the Lord of the Rings, stretching a bit of bread out. Like I was feeling like I stretched out a bit of bread over butter over bread, and that's what this story's like. It feels like it should have enough meat in the bones, but ultimately it doesn't. But I like the utilisation of the music. I thought it was very, very neatly also interspersed into the movie. The way that Hamish Patel performed the music as well really surprised me. Having watched this young guy on EastEnders, I never knew he had it in him to play the guitar like that, and the piano, if indeed he did.
And the singing,
And the singing. He had a very good singing voice. Ed Sheeran was very, very good. The movie couple also agree with that. He does a stellar job of doing Ed Sheeran. He's obviously appeared in Game of Thrones in the past, so he's no stranger to acting, Stephen. Other thing I really liked, the graphics coming up when he had moments of sort of amnesia and he couldn't remember the lyrics to songs, and you'd hear little excerpts from the song. I think in one part he's kind of in a tunnel in maybe Liverpool or something, I don't know, with Ellie, and you hear a little bit of hello, goodbye, and then the graphic comes up with the title of the song.
Right, I forgot about that,
So it was cool little moments like that interspersed throughout the movie, but it just felt like the story was slightly, I don't know, it just didn't work.
I think Jerry sums it up. You know, they took a good idea, you know, and they've stretched out as far as they can. And he actually makes a reference to Lord of the Rings and how that ends. You know, it has like 5 different endings.
Yeah.
That's justified in Lord of the Rings, to be fair. But in this movie, it's as if they couldn't settle for one ending, and, you know, they just felt like, we'll put them all in, you know. I would have preferred if it just ended at the beach, you know, with words of wisdom from John Lennon. But
speaking words of wisdom, let it be.
Yeah, Robert Carlyle portrayed Lennon in the film, John, and although he did look like him, his voice was a little bit softer, wasn't as nasally either as John Lennon's voice was. But the likeness of him was uncanny.
It really was, and he also has that sort of a personality off to a T as well, Steve. He says you're a strange man or something like that.
Yeah.
But you hugged him anyway. And also that proved pivotal. I liked the overall theme that it was presenting, Stephen. As I did say, I'll try not to get tongue-tied and caught and dig myself a hole. Essentially that you don't need fame to be anything in the world. You can be perfectly happy in your own skin without fame. And that is essentially what they're portraying here. All you need is love. And obviously the love you give is equal to the love you take, and the love you take is equal to the love you give. I can't recall the ordering, but yes, Stephen. Essentially that is just the perfect message of the Beatles through their 10-year or whatever, how long it was, stint as a band. They were all about love, peace and love, and obviously
give peace a chance
and giving happiness out to people. It wasn't all about fame, unless you're Paul and you've got 20 houses in London and whatnot.
Or farm in Scotland. But listen, we'll move on, John, to the next review. That was a great review again from the movie couple. This one coming in from Stephen Wilkins. It is Rim of the World. This was a Netflix film, John, that we actually did a trailer reaction for.
We did, yes.
Back in May, I believe. This film was directed by MCG, or McG, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. Stars the likes of Jack Gore, Maya Chech, Benjamin Flores Jr., and Alessio Scalzotto. Now, McG, I'm going to call him. I don't know if that's his name. He was the guy, I'm pretty sure he did Terminator Salvation. So one of the things that I did get from this, I'm not comparing it to Terminator Salvation, I only picked it up there, but I remember watching the trailer for this, and it was the spectacle and the visuals that grabbed me for this.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't really pay much attention to the dialogue and the sort of...
It was terrible.
Well, no, I don't mean that. I mean, I just didn't want to. It's not that I didn't. I just didn't want to because I just felt the dialogue and delivery of the lines. I don't know if they were in the final cut of the film, to be fair. But they felt a bit forced, and they felt like they were trying to be too funny at times. And I think they were trying to recreate that sort of Stranger Things, Stand By Me, The Goonies, that kind of 1980s group of boys all in it together. You know, in this case, there's obviously a young girl as well, but I just felt that the delivery and the connection with these characters, only in the trailer, I can't really judge it on that, to be fair, but it just didn't feel right for some reason. It felt a bit forced to me. Yeah, Stephen, the comedy didn't connect with me at all watching the trailers. I just didn't feel like I had any connection with these young characters whatsoever. It fell and it just felt flat for me. I'm sorry. Even the animation and the CG of these alien, I want to say dinosaur-like creatures, looked a little bit naff. I don't know until I actually give it a try. I've not actually had a chance to go and watch it on Netflix yet. I actually didn't know McG, who directed it, was the chap involved in Terminator Salvation, Stephen. I think that movie gets a lot of stick
and it's not really.
It's one of the
best
visual films for the Terminator franchise.
Yeah,
I think
cinematography was incredible. Yeah, absolutely stunning the way that kind of went 360 full on things. It was a beautifully shot movie. He done Charlie's Angels as well.
I'm sure he did a music video for. I can't remember their name from the 90s. Them that did Give It To Me Baby, that song. I can't remember what they're called, but
Offspring.
I think he might have did a video for them as well. Why Don't You Get a Job? I think it was that video. I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, Stephen, I think you may be right. You probably did. Yeah.
If I did, I'm impressed myself here.
Yeah, the Offspring. Why Don't You Get a Job? Yeah, he did indeed, Stephen. So there you go. Very well done. Take him out there, Stephen.
And I didn't look at IMDb. I promise you.
No, he didn't. No, he's next to me, and I can also speak for him. Stephen, the movie itself. Yeah, the review itself. Yes. Yeah. It was, Stephen actually enjoyed it. He gave it an A-. He says that it's obviously it's an invasion film first and foremost, and there is a few gripes that he has with the characters. And that's certainly that of Benjamin, who he feels is a little bit cliched, a little bit over top. He didn't like the lines, and he felt there was something off with the character just in general from the start. But overall, Stephen, he thought it was a great little family movie, and it was certainly worth killing some time over. And look, that's the beauty of Netflix. Yeah. It's so accessible. You can go in and watch a movie if you're bored out of your head. Obviously, I was about to say something else there. It's not PC at all. And you can go in and watch any movie you want. Netflix has such a wide array of different genres, different rated movies and whatnot. And that is the beauty. You can go in and pop in and watch it. It's so accessible. And Stephen, this is also a very accessible movie.
Yes.
But clearly trying to mine into the Stranger Things sort of a success over the last, I want to say 3-4 years. I'm into season 3. I've actually only just started watching Stranger Things. I'm on season 1, really enjoying it. But you can see, as you're absolutely right, Stephen, that obviously mined the Goonies and like-minded movies prior to that. I always think of The Little Rascals. Was another one. It was sort of a group of young children up to no good. And so they're trying to obviously capitalise on the success of those previous movies. They see there's a market there, and potentially they could get people in subscribing to their service to pop in and give it a bash. But Stephen, we'll quickly jump over to Rotten Tomatoes to get a little flip side of it. Stephen has rated it overwhelmingly positively. They are having a slightly different take on the movie. Not so positive. It's 25% from the critics, albeit just 12 have rated it. Obviously, they are into what they're into, and they're into what they're not into. And what they're not into is usually family-friendly Netflix movies, as we've seen with Cannes Film Festival, booing it and whatnot. But Stephen, they say it's obviously stereotype-ridden. It's a sort of a tween sci-fi action movie with training wheels, and it's got comedic elements in there. They don't seem to like this. One says a little bit harshly, it's grating, painfully awful, and it seems to work against everything that makes movies of this ilk so entertaining. I can't possibly say whether that's true because I haven't seen it. No. Another flip though, we have a couple of positives in there. Jamie Brodna from Black Girl Nerd says that Rim of the World is a fun adventure flick filled with cool pop cultural moments and a great story arc that makes this movie a worthy addition to your Netflix queue. So again, Stephen, that's getting back to what we says about trying to mine into this Stranger Things and obviously the Goonies and whatnot, that sort of a nostalgic trip for older people, and perhaps just capitalising on the Stranger Things success for the current generation who enjoy it.
How serious the filmmakers intended this film to be. They might have just wanted a silly film to...
The vibes I got, that's exactly what it was, Stephen. He wasn't taking it too serious, and it was very much comedic heavy with these young kids trying to stave off an alien invasion. So, can't take it too serious.
And Steve does end his review by saying, it's an adventure that the whole family can enjoy as well. So it is obviously aimed at kids as well. So I think they might get a kick out of it. I think sometimes these movie critics take themselves a little bit too serious. But listen, move on to the final review this week, John. It comes in from DM Anderson. This is a Blu-ray review, and it's The Man Who Killed Don Quixote.
Yes.
This is obviously a Terry Gilliam film. This is a film he's tried to be made for the last 25 years. He's had so many problems with budgets, false starts, legal issues, natural disasters thrown in there as well. This film stars the likes of Adam Driver, Jonathan Pryce, Joanna Ribeiro, Stellan Skarsgård's in there as well, Oscar Giannata. So it's packed with some big names in there, John. Yes. There was also a documentary. It was a feature-length documentary based on the sort of start-stop production of this film back in 2002. I'm just going to jump forward to, just because I'm on that subject at the moment, because Dave does say that ironically for a movie with such a torrid past, this Blu-ray features no substantial bonus, features covering its history. Perhaps that's intentional since enough has already been written and said about it. I would agree with that, especially if it's negative stuff. They want to detach themselves from that. Enough's been spoken about that in the past. The film's been made now, let's move on.
Yeah, Stephen, I completely agree. Why would you want to fixate on the negativity of what's obviously preceded the movie and the long, arduous journey to getting it onto the screens and whatnot?
Yeah.
I'm just glad to see Terry Gilliam is getting a chance to once again put out another movie, which he's obviously... It's been a labour of love for this man. Yep. He's also been involved in the Monty Python movies back in the day, Stephen, so you already get that vibe from the trailer. We reacted to it.
Yes, we did,
It's very eccentric, sort of a specific... It's Dave does say he's almost a genre unto himself with the movies he's made over the years. So I got that vibe from the trailer. It looked very wacky, it looked quite funny. Adam Driver looked very good, starring as this sort of a tragic, or not tragic, sort of a tortured genius filmmaker who's going back and almost bumping into people he's starred in his movies, and then this forms the creation of the journey and the story going forward. I think Dave says that one of them was a lead who thinks he's Don Quixote. He's a little bit deranged, just I don't know, hallucinating, I don't know, perhaps. And then he goes off on a journey with him, and they try and save this other younger actress who's been succumbed to a life of, I think, prostitution or something like that, or she's just doing something, she's under nefarious sort of a means anyway, someone's holding her or something, they go and try and rescue her. The plot sounds interesting. I like Dave's review. Once again, the guy's just a great writer. And he's nailed it really, and it's really got me intrigued. I think I will go and give this a bash just purely because I'm a fan of Gilliam. He's such a great director. He's got such a unique vision. I've not had a chance to watch it. I did enjoy the trailer. I'm pretty sure I enjoyed it anyway. I've not went back and watched my own reaction video, but
I'm trying to remember
that's surreal.
Terry Gilliam's film, the one that Heath Ledger's last movie.
Oh yeah, was that the one with different actors? I have to go and have a look at that.
They had to recreate it with different actors playing the same character.
The Imaginarium. No, it wasn't the Imaginarium.
That was it,
Yeah, it was the Imaginarium.
Dave actually says this is his best film since 12 Monkeys. That's one of the films that's always been in my collection from VHS, DVD and now Blu-ray. Eventually it will be a digital download when I wear out the Blu-ray, but it's one of my favourite films of all time, 12 Monkeys. Terry Gilliam's got such a unique vision, and he's almost Tarantino-like, where he has been accused of in the past of being very self-indulgent in his films, but that's not a bad thing, and it's not a negative thing when I read that either. That's someone that's so invested in their own work and their own imagination and their own vision, so you can't fault him for that. That's what I got from the trailer, John, back in March when we watched it. That's how far back it was, and it stayed with me. It's a film I do want to see. I don't know if it did get a wide release over here in Scotland. I can't remember.
I've not actually looked, Stephen.
I don't remember it being marketed in Scotland anyway, but it's definitely on Blu-ray anyway, so it's definitely a film that I do want to see. I think just because it's Terry Gilliam, I've not seen it. Sometimes I do purchase films just based on the director, if they're one of my favourite directors.
Absolutely,
I don't have to see it so I can invest in buying the movie, and I think that's what I will do, based on this review as well.
Stephen, that's something I've done with Stanley Kubrick. I went off into a rabbit hole and really went back and watched all of the guys' movies.
Good choice, I
share your sentiment, Stephen. I've not had a chance to see it yet, but it's getting well received on Rotten Tomatoes as well. 62%, 67%. For a guy who can be a little bit polarising with his style, not a lot of people will connect with it. Other people will connect with it. I like the cast as well. I have to say, Olga Kurylenko's in there, as you probably mentioned, Stephen. Stellan Skarsgård, if I can speak. Jonathan Pryce rings a bell as well. I don't know where his face is from, but it certainly does ring a bell. But just the fact he's been involved in one way or the other with the likes of Life of Brian and whatnot, and the Monty Python movies, as I did say, which I've just been a big fan of for years upon years. I have fond memories of going off on a school trip when I was about 14 or 15, staying up to 3 in the morning on the bus, watching The Life of Brian. So this is a guy who, I love that style of music. I love style of music. I'm tripping out my nut again here, Stephen. Style of filmmaking. It's just quite quirky and wacky and just eccentric, and that's right up my street. I have got that vibe from the trailer. I've got that vibe from the review, and I'm well on board.
And Adam Driver as well, John. He just seems to fit into these comedic roles as well, doesn't he?
He's such a varied actor, Stephen. He fits into just about every single film. We've seen it with the Black K Klansman character, played a Jewish guy infiltrating the Klan, and he did it fantastically well. So this a guy who can put his finger.
Logan Lucky as well.
Logan Lucky, absolutely
fantastic.
incredible, playing at a southern sort of a guy.
Yeah, amputee,
anything this guy's in usually elevates the quality of the movie around him, so that's another plus point for me going and giving it a bash. Stephen, as he does say, it's lavishly produced finally though, and it's alternatively dark, whimsical, bolstered by interesting characters and some wonderful moments that unexpectedly transition into the surreal. So again, just what I was saying, surreal, eccentric storytelling, right up my street.
And another great review from DM Anderson. But listen, John, that brings us to the end of this week's blog rundown. We'd just like to thank you once again for joining us, and we will be back again tomorrow with the Force Friday show.